Okay, so Joel Sangerman, I want to show you this deal for $117,000 that was just deposited in my account a few weeks ago. It started off as a owner finance deal, really a taking over debt deal where the seller couldn't afford the payments, needed to move on. We came in, took over that debt. The balance on the loan was approximately the value of the house, $158,000 on the loan, and that's pretty much what the house was worth. So the payment on this was really low. So we knew we'd be able to get positive cash flow on it. Payment on it was under $900 a month. As you can see, these are the payments that were being made. And we promptly put it up for sale. This goes back a few years ago now. I'm going to take you through the whole deal, from soup to nuts to caviar. And we bought it for the 159, 155. That number is put in there because we took over the loan and there was some cost, and the title company has to record some kind of number for the sale, which is basically the balance of the loan plus some costs. So we immediately went ahead and put it up for sale on a lease option at 2099, and also advertised it for rent as well at 1400, and looked for our lease option buyer. So we did get a lease option buyer. We didn't get a huge down payment. Sometimes you don't want to get a huge down payment because then they're going to cash you out in the end. And sometimes you just want to get somebody in there, let them run their course. If they close, they close. If they don't, they don't. So we settled for a smaller down payment for a house like that, $14,250. And what ended up happening is we got paid over the course of time. For a couple of years. They ended up not exercising the option. I could have evicted them at that point or asked them to leave because their option had expired, but they were paying the rent down. So what did I care? I didn't need to go get a new tenant. I didn't need to go get a new buyer. I didn't need to go get a new non-refundable deposit, all things that I had the option of doing, being in total control of it. But I liked these folks, so I let them keep renting it for quite a while. Anyway, property values went up pretty significantly in Vegas, and it was too much to have them in there. So helped them move along. They moved out, and we ended up selling the house for $265,000. So let me go ahead and show you what the deal structure looks like on this. So we'll put in the price here for deal structuring at $265,000 because that's what we actually sold it for. That down payment that we got, the $14,000 that I shared with you, left us a balance of $251,000. So our first profit center, which is one of several profit centers that we had on this house, was $14,250. So where does that leave us? Well, that leaves us with the seller technically being owed $159,000. I say technically because it's really the bank. We took this property over subject to the existing mortgage. So the bank is owed $159,000, and that leaves us a back end of $92,000 for cash out. Now, what happens here is we only had a payment with the HOA and everything of about $950 a month, yet we had $1,400 a month coming in. So we actually had monthly cash flow that was quite positive, $450 a month, and we held this property for 48 months. So there's an additional $21,600 in profit. Now, what's the big part of these kinds of deals that everyone forgets? They forget the equity buildup. Over all that time, that $159,000 loan became $137,000 that had to be paid off. So there's an extra $22,000. So you can see the payoff that we had just a few weeks ago was $137,000 on that house. So all that extra equity comes into play. So, this is the way the deal looks on the front end. You still had your down payment, but now the seller was only owed, or the bank in this case, $137,000. So your back end moves all the way up to $114,000. So when you put all that together with the monthly cash flow, it's quite a profit. And in our back end, that's how we ended up with $117,2021 deposited a few short weeks ago. So that's the way that deal went down. Go do some of those yourself. Anyone here can do it. Just got to be trained. Just got to have the techniques. Thanks for checking it out. We'll talk to you soon.